Hello everyone, Deb Floros for Jesse James Beads. I'm going to be working with chain reaction chain today. I'm going to make a triple strand chain reaction chain bracelet. And I love that all of these chain reaction chains have such cool little links, different shapes of links, and different crystals. And I've got some old connector pieces that have 3 loops, and they were in my stash, so I'm going to use those to be the connection point for all of this chain. And I love these 3 colors. So I've got kind of some coffee tones here that I'm going to be using, and I just need to make sure that I lay out my connectors and my chain and get them all ready so that I can make the proper length of this bracelet, which is probably the hardest part. So I'm going to start by adding a lobster claw to my connector piece on the side that has 1 loop. And then on the other connector, I'm going to add a large jump ring. And I'm using 4mm jump rings to add the larger jump ring and the lobster. I'm getting out a ruler so that I can measure the length that I want with the 2 connectors next to the ruler. Now I need to measure out the chain reaction chain pieces that I'm going to use and connect to my connectors. And because each of these chain reaction chain options are different, they have different chain links, they're spaced out a little bit differently with the beads. So you'll need to decide how you want them to be connected, where you want the beads placed, kind of the spacing out of all of the chain links. So I'm playing around with the different colors here and the different shapes and trying to find the right placement of those beads. And I think I've just about got it right here. I want to make sure that they're all sort of staggered differently so that the beads don't bump into each other, which will happen if you've got them lined up together. So chain reaction chain on some of the strands have a soldered ring, so you'll need to cut them with a cutter. Some have links that can open. You'll have to try them out and see if it works. And then you'll need to use jump rings to actually make your connection onto your connector. So I'm using 4mm jump rings. I prefer that size for this type of application. So I'm using some chain nose pliers, opening up jump rings, and then attaching to the connector piece. So bottom line is, if you can open and close a jump ring, you can most certainly make this project. So I'm attaching one type of chain at a time to both ends. And once you've connected your first one, you have an opportunity to check the size. So if it's good, then what you'll do is continue on with attaching the next 2 pieces of chain. So you're just going to do the very same thing, making sure that your placement of the beads and the links is where you want it, and you'll use those jump rings to attach. So I'm taking my pliers, attaching, and now I've got one more, and I'm just going to adjust those beads a little bit and then get that connected to my 3-loop connector piece. Now you could do this as a double strand. So if you've got a double strand connector, it will also work. Or maybe you've got one that has more connection points and you can do an even bigger and more chunky chain bracelet. I love working with chain reaction chain. It's so much fun. It's just very versatile. You can do so many things with it. So I'm now adjusting one piece. So sometimes once you've got all 3 pieces on, you may find that one is maybe a little shorter or a little bit longer, and you can make adjustments. You can cut, you can add jump rings, which is what I did. And now I've got a really fun bracelet. I absolutely love this. This is such a great bracelet for any time of the year, and it's an instant bracelet stack. It's gorgeous. So go to jessejamesbeads.com and pick up some chain reaction chain. And then you can try this fun project as well as others. Thanks so much for watching.